And that brings us to a live stream on, let's see, it's Friday. It's the 8th of November. Welcome. In case you're wondering, you're probably not watching it live, so it's like, no, it's not. But hey, you know what I mean. Otaku. Grim got me this shirt. I hate this shirt. Here's why. I like the otaku, but then I hate that it's got the definition of the word. I know what it means. If I don't, I can look it up. I don't really think it needs to have the definition. Everything else is good. It's for a free shirt, though. I don't think you should complain. It's that whole thing about looking a gift horse in the mouth. Let's see what's going on here. Scratchy. So let's see. We had our little opening music. We're gonna start our little show here. I think the camera is aligned. I was bumping around into it earlier, so I had to redo it. The main camera. Diet Coke. Well, I think we can hold out. I just had lunch from Starbucks. Hi, Milo. Blue Bluetooth controller for flying around in. We're going to get started real soon. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I'm kind of happy because, number one, I don't feel like crap today so far. Good to see you. Number two, it's a 3-day weekend, and basically I don't have to work. I mean, I'm stopping work now. So between now until Tuesday morning, it's all fun. Free. Boy, it's weird to look at yourself doing stuff on TV. Hey, all right. But you know what it's going to be? It's going to be a flying around. We're going to do some interesting bush flying. There might be some surprises. There might not. We might fly around a city if I can figure out one to fly around in. And then there's going to be a musical event, but it's probably going to be pretty mellow. You know, it's fine. Are you going live later, Milo? Well, hopefully you can go live. I can watch you because I got an extra screen here. All right, let's move on to the Microsoft Flight Simulator Tableau, by which I mean the main menu screen. Yep, that's it. Doesn't look like there's too much new in the marketplace. I was looking in the marketplace here. I'm just checking if there's something on sale, something I want to get someday, like maybe the Super Hercules. I'm not really into these giant airliners. Yeah, it's good to be back. I had to take a week off. I really haven't been feeling that well over the last couple of weeks. So, and I'm still kind of okay, just okay. Don't ask. It's just kind of old people stuff, honestly. It's not COVID or any kind of flu or anything transmissible. It's just a side effect of having way too many trips around the sun under your belt. And it's just that, and that's just the way it is. There's really nothing you can do about it. But there's a good chance I shall fully recover at some point. Is the good news, but it just might take a while. It could take a couple weeks, but I will. So I might be sporadically streaming. So yeah, I found these really fun places to check out. Let's see, it's 8:01 p.m. here, and I really want to show you guys around this little part of the world I found. I didn't find it, so we're gonna go from Tapini to Guari and then land there. What is Tapini like? Perfect. It's gonna be a little. This is in where is this? Oh yeah, that's our time. Perfect. So it's a morning flight. Yeah, no, I'll be fine. Oh yeah, is it a blizzard? Bad weather? I'm just trying to figure out where this is because I don't want to say it's in Indonesia if it's in Malaysia, and I always get them wrong. Is that what it's called? AYGF is the airport. That ain't it. Let's see. Tapini. Let me look up Tapini. It's got to be a place. Hold on. Let me look it up on the map. This is interesting. These are obscure locations. Trust me. But somebody should know where they are. Papua New Guinea. All right, Papua New Guinea. Just because I was getting I didn't want to say give you the wrong information. But yeah, okay, Papua New Guinea, and it's kind of not in the really populated or part of it. So it's a place we haven't really been before. So we're gonna fly around in. I think we're just gonna pick the old because I always I always, not always, but I always feel. Let's do the clownfish today. We do the flying pink school bus a lot. We're not going to need a full tank of gas, but we're going to start on the runway. We're going to fly around some mountains. It's going to be cool. It's going to only take 10 or 15 minutes. This plane is great. These are tiny. Well, we'll get to it here. I'm not going to do the startup procedure. Wait a minute. I unselected it. There we go. Now we go. I'm not going to do the startup procedure because we start up this plane a lot. It takes a while, but it's fun. It's a 2-engine turboprop, so it gets go. It can take a little while. It's got a lot of buttons and switches to push, which I like. But we're going to start on the runway just because this is going to be an interesting little short bush flight around these two airports that are in the middle of nowhere in the mountains in Papua New Guinea. If we crash somewhere, let me put it this way, they're not going to find our bodies. So let's try not to crash, and you'll see why that might be an issue. But hey, that's the excitement of Microsoft Flight Simulator. You can go anywhere in the world. I don't think we've ever been here. Okay, so before we fly around, we're going to take a look at the plane. You can see this little grass strip that basically goes over the edge of the cliff. All these little houses. I want to actually get out here. You can just kind of check out the terrain. I mean, it's not that complicated. It's just a bunch of little huts and stuff like that. But I guess it's a little town built around this little grass airfield. And again, in the middle of nowhere. In Papua New Guinea. I don't think there's necessarily roads that go into these places. Here's our little plane, our clownfish. Happy clownfish. It's for skydiving, but that's fine. Let's go in here. Check it out. Oops. There's the skydivers hanging out there. They're not going anywhere. All right. But we are. Okay, so flaps are set. Trim is about right. I've never taken off from here before, so I hope it goes well. Let's see. Okay, do we have the parking brake on? Yeah, we do. Okay. Parking brake on. All right. So that's that. So that's that. We're going to put this here. Parking brake off and full throttle. And then we're going to probably just bean our way off the end of this little curved runway here. And the runway we're going to land on is even crazier. It's even wackier. But you can see we're already taken off. We don't even need this whole runway. That's the thing about this plane. Short operations. But this is Tapini. Let's not go too crazy. And you immediately take off. You can see it's basically a cliff. It's a little like a Lukla airport in the Himalayas that we like to do a lot. So if you want to land, you're gonna land. You gotta have to wind your way through this kind of canyon here. But we're gonna head north to this tiny little airstrip. It's not very far. Okay, we can start bringing this down here. Too high and just our throttles down. This is what it looks like from here. This plane is I love this plane. You can kind of see it, very realistic. But the thing is, it's got tinted windows, which is kind of nice in the bright sunlight. It's a beautiful day. How you doing, Pilgrim? This is a nice plane. It's the Clownfish. We're flying around Papua New Guinea because I found these really tiny little airstrips in the middle that are perched on the sides of these mountains. And we get a great little view here. And like some of my, I think I'm going the right way. Let me also just double check. Okay, no, I don't think we are going the right way. This is, no, that's Aramay. Okay, yeah, we want AYGF. So we're going to have to kind of get out of this canyon at some point, I think. And we're going to have to kind of make a left turn. But we're going to check out all these little strips. We're landing at AYGF. Okay, it's about 20 miles away. This is, yeah, again, I got a lot of nice planes, but I do like these just because they're fun, they're simple. Now, by the way, this is a skydiving plane, and it comes with 9 skydivers in the back there. You can see them kind of moving around. I can open up the back, but they won't leave. It's just, they're just for kind of for show. Okay, you can see that little map above my head kind of shows how mountainous it gets quite quickly. If we go the other direction, we will get to the ocean eventually, not too long. But I just want to kind of view it. We're going to fly over, not this one, the one here to the left, just to see what it looks like. But our final airport is called AYGF, and it means we're going to have to fly over a pretty heavy ridge. So we're going to gain some altitude here. It's not super far, but it's definitely nice. It's going to be it's a beautiful day in Papua New Guinea. It's a morning, actually. It's early morning. Yeah, doesn't have an ejector button for, All it has is we have a switch to open up the back, which is kind of cool, because you can see it open. You can see the dudes in there kind of hanging out. But they won't leave. Even if I put the light, there's a jump light switch. They won't leave. It's a limitation of the game. There's closing up again. But you wouldn't want to be parachuting around here because there's no one to pick you up. You know what I mean? You're in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so there's that here. I'm not gonna check that out, but I'm sure it's just a little. But I want to check these. There's a bunch of these. We're gonna check out AYEA. Again, these airports are not connected to anything. I mean, literally, they are airstrips on a hillside with some people living near it. I really think it's an unusual lifestyle. Especially because it doesn't look like they have planes coming in and out all the time. But there are quite a few of them up here. It's apparently a thing, and you can see very, very rough and rugged terrain. Okay, this is Karau Airport. Airport is definitely generous, as you'll see in a second. Because it's basically just a relatively flat, but not really flat strip of land. I don't even see any houses near here. I mean, how could, or roads? I mean, maybe that's not a road. So technically we could land here, but we're not gonna. But we're gonna land at a little place that's not that different than this. But yeah, it's just a little clearing at the top of the mountain there. No feature, no services. You're not gonna refuel. All right, we're gonna check on the next one, which is over this ridge here. And then we'll be landing in about 15 minutes. So hopefully, and that's going to be our little bush trip through Papua New Guinea, and then we'll probably do another trip somewhere else. So, yeah, I mean, I do have a bunch of jets that do have an ejector seat. The ejector seat doesn't work. There's a canopy eject button, and canopy eject does work in the game. You can eject your canopy if you really want to. Cheers, by the way, Diet Coke. It's all frosty. All right, we're gonna have to pick our way. This hill is coming up pretty quickly here. Not a hill, that's a mountain. But we're fine. And then I'll show you this other one, Ayer. A-Y-E-R, meaning, okay, it's Arume Airport. Again, just a clearing on the top of the hill in the mountains. I love that they call it an airport. I mean, in England, they would call this an airfield. And not an airport, but I kind of want to buzz it just to kind of check it out. We might even hover over it and jump out and do a little parachuting. But the place we're going is basically dead ahead. It's up there. But again, man, these mountains are so rugged and so undeveloped. It's not like there's mountain roads that run through these mountains. So I don't know how anyone gets to or from these so-called airports. But some of them definitely have some, a little more to them than this one. I think there's some buildings down here. So you can see there's a path. Maybe that's a road you could get on and actually go somewhere. Although, man, not a car road, maybe like a goat road. That theoretically, there's an airport in there. I don't know. I guess that little strip that we're, yeah, okay, that's an airport right there. Okay, and there's a couple little houses. Wow. All right. But we're going to, not that one, we're going up here this way. Yeah, you get a great opportunity to see some trees up close. Papua New Guinea, Tapini, yeah, that's where we took off from. We're kind of going on a circuitous route here. Just to check out these really, really tiny little, again, you can't even see it, but it's just a clearing in the jungle, basically. We're going to land at Gwari, and you're going to see, this is a hairy, hairy landing. The only reason why we could do it in this plane and I have some confidence that we can do it. I've never tried landing here. Is because this plane has a really cool way of slowing down, which is you can reverse the pitch of the propellers and gun the engines quite easily. So you land, and then you gun the engines and reverse the propellers, and it actually, the engines push the air out forward. They reverse direction of thrust instantly and powerfully. And this is a real thing. It's a real plane. It really can do this maneuver. It can stop very short. And in this plane, you'll see when it stops, if you're not wearing a seatbelt, you'd be thrown through the window in front of you. It stops like much faster than a car would. And that's because it's the engines are pushing so hard in the opposite direction. Well, what I'm saying is it's a short runway. We can land at the end of the runway and come to a complete halt. Hopefully. And that's the plan. Meanwhile, we got about 5 minutes. Let's enjoy the scenery here. This up ahead is the highest point that we have to get over. We're already at 7,700 feet. I think we started over 4,500 feet. I think we're landing around 5,000. Let's see, it should tell us actually. AYGF. It's at 6,400 feet elevation. Wow. And it's only 2,140 feet of grass, and it's not flat. What is this? Is this the waypoint? So it wants us to head out that way. That's fine. Kind of this direction. This is going to be tricky. But you know, if we don't try it, we'll never be able to say we could do it. But yeah, okay, that's good to know. 6,400 feet. We're at 8,600 feet, so we still are going to have to lose 2,200 feet at some point. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be pretty hairy. And then if we can, we might be able to turn around, take off again, and this time land near the ocean. We might just go somewhere else. Actually, Papua New Guinea. What's the name? Is Port Moresby the main city in Papua New Guinea? It's a pretty cool thing. Hey, by the way, Jake and Cheese. This is, by the way, sorry if you're still here. This is the Short Brothers SC.7 Skyvan. It comes in it's a $10 plane that you can buy. It comes in 4 different variations, including surveyor, cargo, military, and this is the skydive variant, which has 2 incredibly fun liveries. One is the Clownfish, that's this one, and the other is the Flying Pink School Bus, which is the one I usually fly. It's a beautiful simulation of a twin turboprop engine. It's got weather radar. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. It's a good flyer too. But as I was mentioning before, it has some amazing capabilities because of its ability to stop very short on a runway. I believe it can land on this stinky little strip of grass here. It's there. That's Garari Airport on the top of that ridge. Now we got to land coming from the other direction because it's down to up, right? We got to land down to up. We can't land up to down. You know what I'm saying? You got to land uphill. All right, let's start reducing our thrust a little bit here. Kind of going pretty fast. And this plane, we do want to land it right at about 60 knots. We're doing 135. So in order to accomplish that, these giant flaps on the wings are going to be very helpful. Yeah, I do recommend it for a $10 plane. You get a lot of detail. You get a lot of variations. It's always just gives me it always gives me a big smile to fly it. And it is based on a real plane. You can go on YouTube and look up Flying Pink School Bus. I didn't make that up. Or look up short SC.7 Pink, and you'll see the liveries. I think there's the Clownfish is a real livery too. It's pretty close. Anyway, you can see there we're going to land there on that ridge and kind of head uphill. But those uphill landings are tricky because the runway doesn't look like you think it's going to look as you approach. And we don't need this up here. We know where we're going to land. We're going to land right there. I'm a little nervous. All right, now turn around here. I mean, what could happen? So we smash. I wouldn't surprise me if we smashed. But let's at least try to get a good lineup. I'm going to give myself as much distance as I can. Oh, the other thing you guys are going to notice is like that Weaverville, like the Weaverville ridge that we land on, it's curved, which is not very helpful because you can't land on a curved runway. And it's not very helpful for taking off either, but it is what it is, you know. So let's see, we're at 7,000 feet. We're still descending, which is good. We're not going to hit this ridge, right? Because we're going to turn. There's our landing. We don't want to go too far down because this runway is at... By the way, there's one in the distance there. It's also extremely hard to get into, I think. I don't know. I've never landed there. But this one's got to be hard enough. All right, we're close enough that we're going to start slowing down and putting our flaps down to increase the amount of lift we get and drag. But here's what it looks like from the captain's chair. This is not really what you want to see. You want to see a nice, big, long, flat, paved runway in front of you. You know, where there's like emergency services in case you accidentally set yourself on fire. But no. We're bringing cargo, let's say, into the middle of nowhere. All right, we're going to need full flaps for this. That's full flaps. And basically, from what I can tell, that's a lineup. Hello. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I'm having problems here. I'm having troubles maintaining. It's 60. I've got to maintain 60 here. Or we're at 72. Okay. I'm carefully monitoring my propeller speed. But the most important thing is that I'm ready to reverse the... As soon as I feel like we've made it to the ground, we're going to get that... Okay, we're going about 60. You can see those little indicators there. Too hard. All right, we're going to try it again. But we'll do an approach. We'll do the approach. We'll start from the approach. That was too hard. That's fine. I think I was going a little slow. We're going to have to be... And the reason why it was too slow, by the way, was altitude. Like, at ground level, I would have had no problem staying up there. Okay, so we're going to go back here. Which is the one? Is this the correct one, though? Yeah, okay, that's great. But we're going to start... Oh... Right here. Hopefully that won't put us too low. Hopefully, I don't know exactly how far that was going to be. Yeah, really, we're all counting that. Exactly. Thank you for quoting a line from an excellent movie, Airplane. So many good lines in that movie, man. I can't imagine the number of times I've seen Airplane. We're going to try that approach again because I think it's possible. I just think it was too slow. And again, the reason too slow is I did not calculate in my head that we're a mile up. We're more than a mile up. And the air is very thin. It cannot support us at 60 knots, even with full flaps. All right, hopefully, okay, well, at least we're not in the air. We're not in the ground. All right, where's the airport? There it is. Okay, so we're going to make this turn here. The other thing I have to do every time I reset is that it gives me a full tank of gas, which is good, or a half tank, which is like the standard, which is good, but it's bad for landing because that gas is very heavy and the weight is calculated. Okay, so we want to go back down to a typical landing weight, which would be less than 25% fuel. So I'm setting at 24. All right, we're going to make the same approach. We're going to come in here. Actually, we don't need flaps yet. We're at 3.6 miles. We're pretty close. Wait, oh, that's the wrong airport. This is the right one. I forgot there's two right next to each other, but I want to land at Guari. That's this one. We'll figure it out. Okay, we're at 3 miles away. Here's what it looks like from here. We're 8,400 feet up. Okay, we've got to lose some altitude here. Yeah, good thing at least you do have to worry about flaps, but not gear. At least gear is always down. It does not retract on this thing. All right, watching my airspeed carefully. Set trim to proper. The trim is extremely sensitive on this plane, by the way. Yeah, you're all counting on me. Well, that first time you all died, so... I don't know. Maybe we just broke the landing gear off. But in any case, well, let's try to do a good landing. It could take a couple of tries, and that's just the nature of it. As I mentioned, this the runway comes up quickly because it's uphill. So you think you're landing flat, and then you got to really bring the nose up. All right, let's start to get some flaps out and slow down here. Don't want to slow down too precipitously. We're going to go to full flaps. I'm going to keep it over, let's say, 80 this time, which should give us enough room. Over 80 if I can. Enough room to maneuver as we want to kind of pull up here. I think it'll be easier from here. This is what it looks like from here. Oh, and the other thing is that, yeah, it has this bump on it, which is, whoop. Okay, let's do this here. That's got to be fine, right? And then reversers. That's full reversers. You see, we can stop on a dime. I just turned off this. You can basically stop. Look how much of the runway I used. And the other thing is I got to make sure we don't go backwards. I want to show you guys what's up at the end of the runway. I cheated a little bit. I checked this out yesterday to make sure it'd be fun. We're going to take off. We might try landing on that little ridge right over there. Come alive. Also, airport. I'm not sure why you call it an airport. I don't think it has a central control tower. It does have these little things, these little markers. Well, let's just check out the Aeropuerto here. Maybe we can make a turnaround up here. You can see we're quickly going uphill. We're going to check out this little village. It's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to leave the engines running for a second. Let's everyone get out of the plane. Take your little, this is our picnic area. It's very laconic. We got a, I don't know what this is. We got a chicken. We got a goat. Got another rooster. Another goat, male goat, billy goat. Bunch of people. These are the people we came to hang out with here. It's kind of fun that they put this stuff here because unless you get up pretty close, you're not going to know. I don't know who these people are, but I bet they're real people. I don't know. This is Papua New Guinea. You got a little house we can hang out in here. Oops. Okay, I can't go inside though. I got a little place we can have like a picnic there with all these little, it's kind of cool. And again, you're only going to see this here, this particular location. And only if you stop and get out. Look, and like the detailing on the little people who are unique to this little region, the flowers. It's pretty cool that they do this. And again, there's unless you kind of go knowing there's an Easter eggs at certain locations, it's yeah. But this is Papua New Guinea, by the way. It's this really cool little airport in the middle of nowhere. That's what it looks like. Let's fly out of here. What the heck? I actually having a good time. All right, everyone back in the plane. Here's our skydivers. That's what it looks like from the back. They're just hanging out. By the way, there's a picture of 9 skydivers in the back of an SC-7, and they look just like this. And this is basically they took some photos and made it like this. The only difference is that the skydivers in the photo that you can see online all have GoPros. Nah, not really. All have GoPros on their helmets. Cameras sticking out of the top, and you can notice that. All right, here's that. All right, everyone back in the plane. All right, let's see. Can we fly? Okay, flaps to there. It's downhill, all downhill from here. We're going to give us full power, basically, right? Is that full power? That is full power. And this plane's going to take off with no problem. Just want to stay here, give it a little rise there. We're not, we don't even need the whole runway. Guys, this plane has a lot of lift and a lot of power, really. Okay, flaps to 0. So this other little runway here, I have very little confidence that we can actually land on. So that's why we're going to try it. Very little confidence. But I'm getting better with this. I'm learning a little more. It's a little tricky to handle. I'm using my throttle quadrant. And one thing is you have 2 things you're controlling there. One is the propeller pitch there, and the other is the throttle. And they interact quite a bit in some interesting ways. Specifically, the propeller pitch you got to keep up. So even if you're using the throttle, if you don't have your propeller pitch, you're not going to get a lot of go. So this is another tiny airstrip on the side of a mountain. Kamalai Airport. Well, we'll see. I'm not feeling 100%. I was kind of sick this week, but I had to go into work a bunch of times. But it's a holiday. The next thing we're going to do after these little bush flights, so like bush plane flying, is some kind of city thing. So this is just crazy. Okay, flaps to here. Again, there's only one way you can land, which is uphill. And watching one's airspeed extremely carefully is the critical thing here. We're going to need full flaps for here. Here's what it looks like from here. Got to lose some altitude. So again, since we're at high altitude, we got to maintain over South Africa. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is the main cities in South Africa, really. Okay, wait, we're going too fast. Ah, but 80's good. 80's good. I don't mind 80. I just don't want to hit this tree here that they should have cut down, you know. This is not going to go well for us. Yeah, I don't think I can do this as soft. Make it this a soft landing here. Ah, perfect. I got my engines reversed and my brakes on. See, the engines will actually push you backwards. All right, now unlike that other little place there, we can all get out here and we can all agree there is nothing here. I mean, there's nothing, right? Is there something back here, like in the woods or something? I mean, why would you put an airstrip here? What are you delivering? Who are you delivering it to? How are they getting here? By a road? I mean, look up. Look. Okay, there it is. All right, I was wrong. There's some houses. Let's check it out. They're down the hill. There's a little village. Of course, there's got to be a little village. It's got some houses. All right, so that's where we are up there. Right, you kind of see us. Hold on. And these are where these houses are perched on the side of this. And the only in and out that I can see is to hike in over this extremely difficult terrain. Okay, here it is. So here, you'd go from here, this little village, then you still have to climb up all the way here, through here, to get to your airstrip.
Sorry, I don't have an answer.
Yeah, Cape Town to Durban. It's a long flight, though. I mean, it's almost as far as Johannesburg to Durban, which we did. It's a long flight. It's a beautiful flight. I don't think I've done Cape Town to Durban, but it's a good one. Just Cape Town or Cape Town north, because you eventually will get to. I love the look of this plane. Though. All right, we're gonna take a picture here, because this plane's so awesome. Then we're gonna fly out, just because I'm having a good time. It's yeah, I guess it's only an hour. You know, at a good speed. Just want to get like a dramatic picture of this here. Gotta say Kent Schneider 9 on it. There we go. That's what you want to see. All right, so believe it or not, I think we can actually turn around in this plane up here. Yeah, have a good one, Rory. Have a good flight. Let me know. You know, stop in every now and then. Let me know how you're doing. Okay, do we have? All right, there we go. Whoops. Oh, I don't want to go too fast here. Try not to crash into something here. It's very rough terrain, so it's kind of hard to. I mean, I have plenty of power to move the plane. I just don't want to move so fast that it gets out of control here. But I'm going to need this whole little area to turn around. I think we can do it. I'm optimistic. All right, let's try it. You know what? I think we need a little more runway. Because we're going to hit these trees. Wow, we missed those trees by 1/4 of an inch. At most. Sorry. All right, so let's just fly around here a little bit. If we do go far away west, you'll notice one thing we do fairly quickly. That was a crazy. Never try to take off. Never try to do that in real life. That's where we left. See that little patch behind us there, and then we landed at that other one too after the second try. Whoops, we don't want to get too much altitude here. Too much vertical. But how much gas do we have? Oh, actually, we have plenty of gas. So just over these ridges here, you'll kind of see where the terrain becomes a lot less mountainous. And it eventually becomes flat, and it eventually becomes the Pacific Ocean. I guess. Indian Ocean? Pacific Ocean. I think it's the Pacific Ocean. Papua New Guinea. It's a little too far, I think, for us to fly all the way to Port Moresby, which is a decent-sized city for sure. Again, just so amazing how they have these modeled really, 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 really difficult to navigate to airports. And isolated, highly isolated. It doesn't really seem like there's roads in and out. Oops, okay, fly right way here. Fly right, I say. I don't know what that is there in the mountain there. I'm going to investigate. It's probably just a cut of some kind. We're going kind of fast here. Let's bring our engines down a little bit. I want to maintain about 1600 RPM on the engines. Maybe a little more. But I mean, as I say, beautiful, very desolate, and very dangerous looking. And like in the real world, if you're a crash here. Oh, you only got Twitch on the PC. Well, I'm monitoring. It takes me a while to look over to my right to read my YouTube chat, but I do every now and then. So I do eventually see my YouTube chat. Sorry about that. I am a little more obviously attuned into my Twitch chat because it's more in my line of sight. But it is what it is. I should probably, as I get many times, I say, well, I should get my YouTube chat like on screen or something. Put it on the screen. That way, I'll be able to see it in my line of sight. Put both chats on my screen. So you can see here, though, this is behind us where the mountains are, and that's kind of the central part. And then as we kind of leave this whole area, you can see the elevation gets lower and lower. And as we see, it takes a while, but we're going to go another 30 miles. We'll get to the ocean. I don't know if we'll see it from here, but we'll get there. Yeah, well, we should be able to see the ocean at some point. Again, there's our beautiful Clownfish Short Brothers Skyvan SC.7 Skyvan in the Clownfish livery. It's those eyes that really make it. The flying pink school bus is better, but still. The other thing I like is cool is that you can see if you look at the windshield, they have that blue coloration, except for the side ones, and you can kind of see that there's a little bit of different tinting on these side windows than there is there in the upper ones and the main ones. It's a little hard to tell from the inside. Actually, that's an illusion. Okay, no, that's a bug. They're the same. Interesting. Lots of detailing though. Some little things down there. All right. So let's see. Let's look at the map, see where we are. Again, I think I'm going to just end this because I don't think there's that much of interest where we're heading. I mean, it's just basically there's the ocean, but it's about 60 miles away. But there's a lot of little tiny airports. I do kind of want to explore some of these other like tiny airports someday. And again, this is a good plane for that. And there's like a whole bunch of them up here. We'll come back here. But meanwhile, I think I'm just going to quit and we're going to do a city flight. Because I like city. Okay, Jake and Chase Game, thank you for coming by. I will try to be streaming the whole weekend, and it's a 3-day weekend, so that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, nice long streams. There's some jungle right there we don't want to run into. I wonder if this airstrip is tiny. You could probably land it. 14 miles isn't very long. What is it? What does it look like? AYRO. 1,748 feet of grass. Sure. Well, I think it's on a relatively flat part. So. Alrighty. Yeah, I like to do at least an hour of Microsoft Flight Simulator content. But boy, it's just relaxing. Take a break from work and fly around the beautiful mountains of Papua New Guinea. We don't really need this up here anymore. That doesn't look right, though, how that river goes straight, though, and uphill. So, and then it's dry over in the canyon. You know, satellites are not perfect, especially in the middle of nowhere. Like, how are you who's gonna be double checking this stuff? But that ain't right. Yeah, that's like water. The actual water goes through that brown, dry area. That's kind of interesting how, you know, you kind of see what it's supposed to work. And then you can go anywhere, but it's not guaranteed to necessarily be right. But yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's probably no people around here. But yeah, you can see how it's making that water go uphill, up the ridge and down the ridge, rather than through its natural bed. Something just got a little messed up. But the water had to go somewhere. You know, computers have rules. All right, we're going to check out this airstrip. I have also never landed here. But again, short runways, dirt runways, not a problem. Let's see, a little concerned about fuel, 19%, but I really think we can make it. And then we're going to do a short flight over some city. Because why not? I feel like seeing a lot, after seeing all this rugged terrain, I want to see some buildings. So you see what I was talking about there, that river there, the water feature there, it doesn't flow through the riverbed, except some parts of it do, not much of it there. And it's also, yeah, it's completely gone there. All right, hey, nobody's perfect. All right, what do we got, 10 miles? Let's keep going. Let's keep heading out there. We've already descended to 2,300 feet. We started at over 5,000 feet. The second one was at 6,000 feet. We were at one point we were 8,000 feet up. I don't think this is a pressurized airplane. I don't think it's, maybe not, maybe it is. I don't think it is. I think it's really intended for less than 8,000 feet. Not 100%. Maybe it is pressurized. That's actually a question. Hard to say. I'd have to look that one up. A lot of skydiving planes are not. I mean, the idea is, yeah, you can't really pressurize and also have a huge door that opens up in the back like that. I guess you could, but it'd be very hard to maintain pressurization. All right, 8 miles from the airstrip. What is the orientation of it? I would probably not even gonna be able to figure that out until we fly over it. I'm suspecting that it parallel. What kind of holiday is Monday? In America, we have a Veterans Day holiday coming up on Monday. America is very into honoring its veterans of the various wars that we've started. Not that, you know, the veterans didn't start them. Politicians sure as shit did. Anyway, you could probably see that there's no veterans in my family line, which makes a difference as to how you feel about Veterans Day. If you are a veteran or you have like family members who are, or if you don't, and I don't. I'm like, it's a holiday after work, I get paid, but I don't spend a lot of time thinking about veterans. Also, we have 2 days. We have Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and they're technically kind of similar what you're supposed to, you know what I mean? So we have like 2 holidays that are really, we Americans are supposed to really think about how, gosh, I don't want to talk anymore about it. Otherwise, this might get political. And all you ask me is what kind of holiday is Monday? Okay, I'll tell you what kind of holiday it is. It's a 420 holiday. Everyone's going to smoke a lot of pot. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, make it whatever kind of holiday you want. How you doing on the YouTubes, by the way? Kaburo Koroko Airstrip, 5 miles. This is Papua New Guinea. I don't know. So I assume it's on the side of this this river, and so it's kind of going to go southwest to northeast. But I don't know for sure. We'll probably find out at the last second. Yeah, no, and that's the kind of holiday I treat it as. I can't treat it as a holiday that's basically just for me to fuck off and do whatever I want. More than other holidays, like Thanksgiving is more, you know, a holiday oriented. Christmas has more of a feel to it, you know, where you kind of know, you know, what you're celebrating or aren't celebrating or whatever. Veterans Day and Memorial Day, I'm just like, what, whatever. Yeah, I think it goes this way. I don't know. I don't know. Like, this is a very windy little river here. Also, it's, as you can see, they really had a lot of problems kind of getting the water into the riverbed. They kind of got it in there at that point. It must be a kind of a manual operation. But as I mentioned, short runways are not a problem. As soon as you get your ass down there, I can basically push my lever down all the way and it goes into reverse. And that basically stops the plane in about 3 plane lengths. I mean, literally. It's amazing. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's manual. I think there's an AI that effectively does it based on kind of common sensible stuff. Oh, now I don't think we are lined up right. I think it's a different lane. Well, let's see. We'll figure it out. Okay. Now I think it's this way. I don't know. I've never landed here before, so how would I know what direction the runway goes? I thought it paralleled the river right there, but now I think it doesn't parallel the river. This is going to be kind of crazy. I don't even think this... I think this plane might be too big. But again, even if all you need is a foothold... even a toe hold, and then you, as long as you can stop. But this would definitely be the shortest airstrip I've ever tried to put this particular plane on. But again, this one theoretically is the short, except for the ultralight, which can basically take off from anything. It can take off sideways on a public road. There's this river here. Yeah, I'm thinking it's this way. Oh, this is going to be hairy. All right, watching the airspeed very carefully. And since we are at a much lower altitude, we're basically at ground level, we can go slower, like 60, and not stall out. So I'm going to put these pretty slow here. I'm going to put my throttle pretty low. I don't want to go much below 60. This is what it looks like from here. It's scary. Again, if I didn't have the good confidence that this plane can stop really short, I wouldn't even bother. Plus, we got to brush these great trees here. That's fine. We'll just give them a trim. We just don't want to land too fast or we'll smash the landing gear. Then we go right into reverse. Reverse, reverse. This is how it stops. It goes, eh, like that. Boom. Beautiful. Look at that. I'm basically landing in a clearing. Wow. I wanted to check something here. Let's go. Is there any... Okay, I guess over here there are some buildings. There's your airport. Here's your airport concourse. There's plenty of parking. As long as you don't mind parking on the grass. Okay, here's departures on the lifts this side. And arrivals are on... You know what I mean? Come on. You got a little village here. And again, how do you get in and out of this village? Because I don't necessarily know if there are roads. But that's pretty cool. All right, well, let's fly it. We're going to fly a dense city. But I just want to point out again... I'm getting pretty good at these bush landings. And once you see the plane actually on the strip, it looks huge in the air. And it feels like it's going to be way too big. But you can see it's not that huge. I mean, the plane doesn't look that huge. It's not, you know, it's a bigger space than you think. All right. I want to get something like that, maybe, like that. Well, it doesn't say Kench 909 from that angle. There we go. Get rid of that. Push that there. Ah, beautiful. I love it. I'm basically taking these little screenshots. They're like little postcards I sent to myself and that I use for... Twitter announcements. Beautiful, lovely plane. All right, let's open up the back. You guys want to get out? Cargo. You guys want to get out and go for a walk? You've been sitting in that plane all day. They don't seem to care. But that one that's in the middle where they had all those animals sitting around, all that, hello. Okay, I'm gonna leave it started. We're gonna have a different aeroplano. This is mission number 2. It's gonna be a short mission. It's gonna be a city flyover. But what city? Anybody got any suggestions? You can go anywhere in the world. It should be a decent city. I mean, we're flying at Papua New Guinea is in the middle of nowhere. We're not gonna do that. I mean, there's Honolulu. That's always a good city to fly around in. We got the whole West Coast. It's quite clear today. If anybody want to try go in a West Coast city, we could fly around. We done San Francisco not that long ago. We done San Diego not that long ago. We did LA not that long ago. What else is there on the West Coast? I guess let's fly around. Is Seattle? Is it no? Yeah, I guess it's okay in Seattle. It seems fine. We're gonna take off from Renton Airport, this Renton Municipal, in a different airplane, something that we can kind of do some city, what I call urban canyon carving. We'll have to see. This one is pretty good. And just for fun, because I enjoy doing that, it's cold starting it. It takes a minute or two to cold start the F-86. But it's worth it. I mean, it does give a lot of more immersion, I think, when you cold start the plane, which I didn't do. I didn't do for the Skyvan, the clownfish. Who is streaming? Any of my friends streaming. I don't want to run. Nicole is my friend, but she's rerunning. Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Where? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna fly to Seattle. We're gonna make some. We're gonna fly around the Space Needle. We're gonna find out. Are there any bridges to go under in this area? We'll find out. All right. Beautiful F-86 from the late 50s. Korean Warrior swept wings. Really the first the first generation of swept wing single engine single person fighter plane. Battery starter to starter on. What else do we need on? Oh, external power on. That is on. Let's see. That looks good. What about over here? Okay, we want this to. Right, we want this to there. We want. This is all good. Flight control reset. Let's open the canopy. You can hear the engine start up a little better. 4%, 5%. You see we have a little ground power unit, that yellow diesel power unit there, providing as a generator. I believe it provides just electrical power, but it might provide hydraulic power as well, or both, or just hydraulic. I think that's electrical. But you need that to start up. A lot of these planes did not start up on their own. You can kind of see heating up in there. Heat coming out of the back. That'll happen. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Is my radio on? No, it isn't. We're going to turn the radio on. Turn the radio on. Now we can ask for... We're at Renton. We'd like to depart north, if possible.
Renton ground KNSH 9er with Alpha request taxi for takeoff departure to the north.
Turn off the ground power. And the battery goes into battery on, so we're charging battery. That effectively turns on the alternator. Oh yeah, we want to do a reset.
Taxi to and hold short runway 16 via taxi.
All right, we're gonna leave the canopy open.
KNSH 9er.
You got to get some power on this engine to get to do anything. That's for sure. We have nose wheel steering. Excuse me, sir. Yeah, it's gonna have to take a. It's gonna have us take us south, and then we'll have to make a turn to the north. That's fine. It's very typical. Flaps down. Do we have to do flaps from here? Oh, this is the flaps, right? Yeah, flaps down. Flaps down. Probably want to close the canopy around now too. It's right here. Canopy closing. Do. Boys, these engines really need to look good. Really need to push them. Okay, hold on a second. Take off clearance.
Renton Tower KENSH 9er ready at runway 16 north departure.
There's the water right there. But we're going to take off the opposite direction. They'll head north. We are approved.
Cleared for takeoff
Outta here.
runway 16 KNSH 9er.
Full power to the engines. Engine. One engine. I want to rotate it around 120 or so. Takes a while to get there too. I mean, this plane does get going, but it is not the fastest jet in the world. I mean, it was the number one, and that's rotation right there. Flaps coming up. Gears up. Gear comes up real quick. They'll make this little turn around here. Continuing for a north departure. Beautiful Pacific Northwest. Gorgeous day.
Renton Tower KENSH 9er frequency change.
Now that is the bottom of shit, what's that island called? It doesn't matter. Alright, we're gonna hightail it to downtown Seattle, do a little canyon carving, call it a day. Call it a day for the Microsoft Flight Simulator Segmente. Then we'll move on to the, some kind of music. I'm probably just going to play my guitar, the one that's sitting right here. Right there. Sorry, you'll figure it out. So there's a bunch of airports, but this airport is not the main airport. This is Boeing Field, which used to be where Boeing did a lot of final assembly work. Maybe still is, of its jet planes, and then they, test them, they take off landing from here. The actual big airport is down there. That's that direction is the Seattle International, SeaTac as we call it, Seattle International. All right, let's start slowing down here. Because we are going to try to do some carving. Well, we are moving now. This plane does get going once you start speeding. I have air brakes that open up on the back of the fuselage there, but it's not really going to be helpful. So that's like a hospital, I think, right there. That one right there. I don't know, because they call that Hospital Hill. Pioneer Square. There's the Smith Tower. So the Smith Tower, it was when it was built was in 1910 or something, 1911. Was one of the tallest buildings on the West Coast when it was built. Smith Tower. And this is the Columbia Center, which when it was built was the tallest building on the West Coast, but it's not as tall as the one in LA. It's the one or the second tallest. The one in LA, the U.S. Bank Tower, is the tallest one. That's the Columbia Center. And then you got the Capitol Hill over there, First Hill. But again, the hospital is called Hospital Hill. The aquarium's down there, right here. That's where the pier is. A lot of stuff going on, and then it's not that huge a city. You're right here at the Seattle's kind of recreational area here. You got your thing. Let's check this out. Just because it's fun to look at closely. It used to be called the Experience Music Project. First of all, beautiful rendition of the space station. That sounds. Experience Music Project, and now it's called the Museum of Pop Art. Frank Geary, one of his more bolder efforts. It's almost, it kind of looks like that. It looks a little nicer. I mean, it's pretty amazingly they constructed. And that's kind of really old. This whole center here, the Science Exploration Center. All right, back in the plane. We should check out the harbor, like the ships in the harbor. Ooh, cool. All right, let's not stop time here. All right, this is Queen Anne Hill. Queen Anne right here. Then you got your Queen Anne Bridge, your Fremont Bridge. And you got your Green Lake up there. Well, this is Lake Union right here. It's kind of shaped like a heart. It's pretty cool. I used to, in Gasworks Park, I used to live right up around there when I lived in Seattle. This is, well, there's Woodland Park, which is the zoo. And it's right next to Green Lake, which is really pretty and has like a track that runs around it. That's Woodland Park. I don't know where the zoo exactly is. Green Lake. Beautiful. And it's a very desirable area to live in, of course. Pretty. But, you know, the whole area is quite pretty, especially on a sunny day like today. You're not going to get one every day. All right, let's buzz the city once more time. We're at 250 kilometers per hour. Or, sorry, knots. Not kilometers per hour. Slightly different. Definitely not miles an hour, actually. Salmon Bay, Shoal Harbor, the locks. Basically, the locks because the water level of the ocean is higher, I believe, than the water level of the freshwater area, which is all that inland area. So you have to have locks in and out of these bays. So they have them right here, right there, and that's the Ballard Locks. And then there's a bunch of it's kind of cool because you can watch boats. You can go there and kind of hang out, and watch the activity. And there's a bunch of restaurants right there that are really good. That's actually a lot of restaurants. Ballard's a huge neighborhood. It's just kind of far away. All right, we're going to buzz the city. We're going to check out some of these ships, and then we're going to land at Boeing Field. You click this thing here. Let's think about it. It's doing a little garbage collection. Cheers, everyone. Diet Coke time. Actually makes it a little easier to see things from the front, though. You can, like, put your little EFB map in there. Okay, what's our speed? Oh, we're fine. Again, this is the Seattle Center. Hey, thanks for the follow. Basically, I do this roughly 5 days a week. I know, terrain. And no, I like to fly low. You want to watch some high flyers on Microsoft Flight Simulator? Yeah, I'm not one of them. I try to get in down at street level. This plane's a little tricky to do that. All right, there's two stadiums. They're both newer than when I lived there. When I lived there was the dome. Oops. Hold on, I fucked up here. I fucked up. Go back. Resume. All right, we're good. I did not want to make that screenshot. All right, so now, but there used to be the dome, but now the King Dome. But now there's the CenturyLink Field, and that's for football. And directly ahead is where the Mariners are going to play here. The Mariners are going to play at the baseball stadium. They're both pretty cool, and they both have those retractable roofs. What is it called? Welcome to... Oh, we can't see because your thing is open. I wonder if that changes, like when it's raining, the thing closes. Anyway. Yeah, terrain is definitely an issue. Terrain ahead pull. I get your. I just looked at your username, so okay, I figured it out. Well, I do flight simulation every time now. And then the second half of the show is a musical segment where I kind of dink around. Well, we're getting some jerkies. That's not you. That's me. That's my computer. All right, here's Boeing Field. We're not set up, so we're gonna fly around. Look at that huge train yard, though. Very colorful. This is Boeing Field. We'll come around and land from the other direction. It's a nice long runway. But again, this is an airport that's effectively owned by Boeing. There's no commercial flights in or out of it. It's much closer to the city. But Boeing, Seattle was a Boeing town for a long time. But technically, Boeing is not even headquartered in Seattle anymore. It was for like 70 years. I think they moved to Chicago, but there's still a huge amount of operations. All these buildings, some of these buildings are assembly buildings or buildings where they finalize. They put the insides in, they paint them, and that's the main airport over there. But we're not going to land there. We're going to land here at Boeing Field. All right, let's see if we can get prepared for this. So we're going to reduce power a little bit. I'm going to see if I can lower my flaps here. We don't reduce power too much. These engines are not that powerful. You're going to see the gear pop out, hopefully. Gear. There's gear. 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 We need gear. Now, watch minimum speeds because this jet engine is not the most powerful thing in the world. $160 is plenty, so we're going to start reducing power. Again, once these engines get off the boil, as you might say, they're not going in. You're not going anywhere. Now, I have speed brakes if necessary, but I'm not going to. I don't think I'm going to need them for this landing. Got to keep it above 130. Little soft. Come on, soft landing. There we go. A little braking. There's no thrust reversers. I believe on the real plane there is a chute. Hey, what are you guys doing on the runway? There's a forklift on the frickin' runway. Microsoft Flight Simulator. What is that bullshit? All right. And that's the Boeing Field tower, which is pretty amazing. I mean, for considering this is not a public airport. It's a commercial airport for a company. All right, flaps up. Flaps up, up. There we go. Flaps up. Okay, give us some thrust so that we don't stall out. Open up the canopy. We got a little airflow. Park it. Now that was a soft landing. As like I said, don't wake the baby. But of course, why would you have a baby in an F-86 Sabre? You know, it makes a little more sense for a commercial flight. But in any case, we did not wake the baby. I do love the Sabre. I've only had it for a couple months, but it's definitely in the time become my favorite plane. My favorite kind of fighter plane. I mean, they all have different appeals. This is not a plane we could have done any kind of bush landing in. As you can see, it needs a lot of runway. Whereas that Short Brothers, it needs like about 3 inches of runway. I mean, basically, if you can get your wheels down, you can stop. You just have to get your, anyway, look at all these big planes. So these will all be Boeing planes that have not been sold or not been delivered yet. And they do. You can go there, you'll see there's a whole bunch of, if you want to see Boeing planes that have a blank white skin on them, you can go to this airport and they'll be flying around. They'll have a tail number on them and that's it. Because they have to fly them around before they deliver to customers. And so all that operations, most of the operation, I think it occurs here for like 747s. And it's 777s. Yeah, this is good. All right, well that was fun. Okay, park brake on. Park brake here. It's in here. Park brake. All right. So how you would turn off the engines is by, well, first you're going to want to turn your external power on, and then turn your engine master off. And we don't have external power, and that's it. And the canopy for some reason automatically closes. That's just a Microsoft Flight Simulator quirk. But God, and it's got such a handsome kind of silhouette. This is the Tricolore. It says Frecce Tricolore when it has an exclamation point in the back on this. If you can kind of see that there, it says Frecce. It says, which I don't know what Frecce means. It means fresh, 3 colors. I don't know, something, or maybe it means force, like the tricolor force, which is I think what the Italian Air Force is called, or one of those European Air Forces. I don't want to say stuff that I don't know. All right, I'm going to take a little picture here. We're going to get nice and close. Frecce Tricolore. I thought it was a tricolor with an exclamation point, but it's Tricolore. And which, it does refer to the paint scheme, but I think it also refers to the units type. And again, this is from the 50s. Stunning plane, though. So much detail. I mean, you can get really close. Right? Right, how close can we get? Well, we can get really close by doing this. I mean, we can get as close as we want. We can go into the intakes if we want. I like that his helmet. This is the first time I noticed it. The helmet matches that. His helmet has that tricolore on it, and I now it makes me want to go check the helmets on all the other liveries, of which there's like 13. Are all the helmets unique or matching? My guess is they are, but this is the first time I noticed that. Okay, let's do this from like maybe here. Look, there's a method to my madness. I'm trying to get this to be a real sleek shot here. It still looks like a real plane. There we go. That's gonna have to do it. All right. So what I'm gonna do is take a roughly 3-minute break. And when we shall return, we won't be in the Microsoft Flight Simulator category anymore. We shall be streaming in the music category. What I'm going to do, look, I'm going to play the guitar because I feel too lazy. You know what? I changed my mind. We're going to play the piano. I was going to say I feel too lazy to bring my piano in, but I actually don't feel too lazy. I feel too lazy to play my... Yeah, you'll figure it out. All right, so give me 3 minutes, and then we'll do some music. Ooh, okay, do a little few things here. Piano. Get my little piano. That's about right, actually. Well, that's not bad. Actually, more like there. Alrighty. So we have. Can you hear me? Yeah. We've switched to the music category. That's how my streams go. We go 50% of the old flight simulator stuff. It's just, and why? The question is, why do I do? Yeah, basically, when I stream, I'm doing two things that I like to do every day anyway. Play a little music, do a little flight sim. So I'd be doing it anyway, even if I wasn't streaming it. This way, I just kind of packages it as a stream, kind of control when a little bit when I do it. But basically, it's just doing things I would do every day. Every day, I'm going to play the piano a little bit. A day without playing the piano is a day without sunshine. Just a little warm-up piece. There's no place. It's tends to be in a lounge. We just play piano. Weren't you going to show us some new kind of dancer this season, singing Savior too far gone? There's no way to turn, ever to keep moving on. Too far gone, and there's no way to turn, ever to keep moving on. It's such a long way down. Too much trouble to turn back around. I never sing the song. It's Todd Rundgren's song. I should sing it. A little more. That's not really lounge fare. This is, though. Anyway, just the two of us. Just the two of us. Similar song, though. All right, then warmed up, so I'm going to do the hardest song I know how to do. I have a little Diet Coke first. Breaking Us in Two by Joe Jackson. Just the instrumental version. Cannot sing Joe Jackson, no. Goes a little like this, hopefully. A little rusty. Nightmare is the hardest one I know to play. All right. This is my homage. The or lounge piano version of Flashdance. How you doing? What a feeling. Flashdance, I most associated with Irene Cara, although I think it's just a Marauder or something, Georgia Marauder or something. I don't know. All right, but that's my settle down, have some Diet Coke. It's a piano lounge. Order a drink from the bar if you'd like. Here we go. Oh, there's your Diet Coke. It's nice and chilly. I mean, that's why I'm drinking, but it is 1 p.m. here. Later on in the day, I shall be having the whiskey. So don't try to stop me, but you know, that'll be after stream. Okay, Girl from Ipanema, gotta play it, or you're not a lounge piano player. I gotta practice it. Literally, old music, perfect. Alrighty, we're doing the Ken's Lounge. Excuse me. And it's fine. I haven't done it in a week or so. Excuse me, a little Diet Coke will probably help that scratchiness. It is awesome. It is perfect for the for elevators. It's literally elevator music. But it's one of the most famous songs in the world. Also, "Girls from Ipanema," I mean, most recognizable song. So you're always going to hear it. You're going to know right away what it is. I mean, it's only assuming you know the song, of course. What do we got here? Billy Joel, another great elevator song. Well, Billy Joel, another song, another group that you wouldn't necessarily associate with lounge piano, Steely Dan. I like to think it is a perfect lounge piano songs. Close. That ending's a little tricky. I'll figure it out someday. Okay, first of at least two Carpenter songs. Oh, this is a Paul Williams songs. All right, but we got to do Misty. Hello, kitty. So, welcome to Ken's Lounge. Hope you're enjoying your time here. Got another play for another 20 minutes or so for you. Hello, Diet Coke. I got Diet Coke left. By the way, in case you're wondering, all I have here is this list of songs, the titles of the songs. I don't have any sheet music or lyrics or anything like that in front of me. I just have them memorized, which is, it's the way you got to do it if you're going to be a lounge piano player. You got to be able to sit down and play. I used to be able to. Oh, I used to play a lot of ragtime. Good question, though. Maybe. I don't know much about that. I mean, I think it's bad. I think it's bad for a particular cryptocurrency to be owned by one, majorly owned by one group, because then they can and then it's obviously highly manipulatable. Yeah, if they buy the whole supply, it'll suddenly become worthless. I think that'll be the stupidest thing anybody's ever done. I don't think they'll successfully be able to do it, but I mean, ultimately, what happens is as somebody wants to come in and buy it, the prices go way up because somebody wants to buy my shares at any cost, so I'm going to double the price. You know what I mean? So the prices are going to go way up. So it looks good, but then as soon as they bought all of it, and then nobody's going to want to buy any of it, that particular cybercurrency will become worthless. I mean, I don't understand what their end game is. If they own all the cybercurrency, then it's worthless. Nobody else owns any, and there's nobody to sell it to. There's nobody will take it in trade for anything. So I think I heard about that. There was a company that wants to buy the entire supply of Bitcoin, but it seems like I think it's either that or they're going to short it. They're going to buy it and then immediately try to resell it, but. It doesn't work. It doesn't work to me. So I don't know much about it, but that just seems like a bad idea all around. But how do I know? How would I know? Let me just do this song here called "Can You Read My Mind." These are from movies. This is from Superman the movie. It's called "Can You Read My Mind." It's by John Williams. Do they? How do you know? It's just a plan to buy all the Bitcoin. Again, it seems like a terrible idea. Hi, Jake and Chase Gaming. Thanks, you're back. Oh, well, that seems shady. But we'll do something no one's ever done before. I mean, it'll surely work. Well, they can think whatever. They can dream $150 trillion. Well, I don't have any, so not buying anything from me. Or selling. Hey, Jake, we're talking about cryptocurrency for some reason. It's not really a hot topic on this particular channel, but, you know, I'll talk about just about anything. All right, I'm actually trying to sing a song. My voice is rusty, but if I don't sing every now and then, it's just not going to get better. So this song goes like this. Actually, no, because you cannot dictate the price on a currency. It's a supply and demand situation. The price goes up because the demand is higher than the supply. The price goes down because the demand is less than the supply. So they can only dictate the price if the demand is there. But if Bitcoin's out of circulation because somebody bought all of it, people will use other Bitcoins. They won't use that one anymore. They'll abandon it. Why should they? They already made their money selling the Bitcoins they had just to the loser who paid 3 times as much as they should have. I think it's dumb. I think it's just pure stupidity. That's all. I don't think there's anything. I mean, they can say what they ever want about what a brilliant plan it is, but unless they pull it off, it's not a brilliant plan. But it's not a good plan. Yeah, you know what I mean? All right, I'm singing. I don't know. You talk to me the whole. You know, I don't know any more about it. There's a man who leads a life of danger. How can you prepare for that? With everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. Well, that move he makes. Well, another chance it takes. Odds on he won't live to see tomorrow. Beware of pretty faces you may find. A pretty face can hide an evil mind. Oh, be careful what you say. Don't give yourself away. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Well, secret agent man, well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. I'll be sunning in the Riviera one day and bleeding in a Bombay alley next day. Oh, don't let the wrong word slip when kissing persuasive lips. Odds are you won't live to see tomorrow. Well, secret agent man, well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Well, look out, agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. And they've taken away your name. Well, look out, agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. All right, well, I was singing a song for you. It's getting to the Christmas season, presume. I'm gonna start doing Christmas shows on the keyboard at least. And this is always a centerpiece of it. And then, of course, you really. That's important. I forgot how about distracted. That part's something like that. I'll figure it out next time. Anyway, you know, this is a little rusty on some of these songs. This is Walking My Baby Home. Mija, gee, it's great after staying out late, walking my baby back home. Arm in arm over meadow and farm, walking my baby back home. We go on harmonizing a song, or she's reciting a poem. Owls fly by and they give me the eye, walking my baby back home. We stop for a while, she gives me a smile and cuddles my cheek to her chest. We start to pet, and that's when I get her powder all over my vest. After I kinda straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. Well, and it's one kiss, then we continue again, walking my baby back home. After I kinda straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. Well, then it's one kiss, then we continue again, walking my baby back home. I'll be walking my baby back home. walking my baby back home. That song's from 1935. Pretty old. Okay, Fifth Dimension, not so old. Still a pretty old song. 70s. Alrighty, got a couple more songs I want to do. And we'll call it a stream. Tomorrow, more. Sunday, more. Monday, more. Hopefully. Assuming I'm feeling up to it, of course. Little instrumental version of Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. 1 second here. I'm going to play another song. 1 second here. Gotta get my golden kappa here. Oof, it's a little tricky. I think I can figure it out now. Oh, even easier than I thought. Here we go. Beauty. All right. Golden kappa train. Nothing to do with anything. Play a few more songs. All right, what do we got here? What do we got on the list? I got my little list here. Some of these I just can't play anymore. But the menu I can. Reaching through the shadows of my dream shattered sleep. Wonder if the years have changed, closed your mind. And the thing that I call living is just being satisfied, knowing I got no one left to blame. Every highway, let me slip away on you. Every highway, you've seen better days, the morning after blues, from my head down to my shoes. Every highway, let me slip away on you. Let me slip away on you. I don't remember the lyrics. I don't really want to sing it. I'm not going to sing more songs anyway. Just do a couple more instrumental versions. For example, actually, we'll do one more singing song. We'll do I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. That'll be it for today. Hope to see you guys all tomorrow. Similar time, 11 p.m., 11:30 a.m., 11 p.m., 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Daylight time, whatever it is. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the rain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for, and it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. And I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds, had me blind, and it's It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. And it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Alrighty. Wow. Thanks for hanging out for me for the whole entire 2-hour stream. I had a good time. I'm going to say. I'm just going to be the first to admit it. I did my standard stuff, and I'm going to do it again because I had a good time. I'm going to keep doing it. So lots of times. I don't know. Something about the flight simulator and then taking on things. Now, tomorrow will probably be a guitar day. I mean, this is a guitar, right? Can you see the guitar? It's a nice one. Unless I don't feel like playing the guitar. It's that kind of stream. It's my stream. All right. So the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to say thank you very much for coming to my show. If somebody wasn't there that I wanted to raid, I'd raid them. But I'm going to raid Carol Burnett. Before I go, I'm going to say hi to Carol Burnett. Hi, Carol Burnett. How you doing? I'm going to come raid you. You're great. I used to watch the Carol Burnett show when I was a kid in the 70s with my parents in black and white on a black and white TV. You know, she's a Twitch partner now, and you can see her shows 24 hours a day on her Twitch channel, Carol Burnett, twitch.tv/Carol Burnett. We'll be going there shortly. She inspired me, of course, to do my show 40 years later somehow. It's interesting how a seed planted takes so long to grow sometimes. Now, of course, her show is just like mine. Her show is exactly like mine. She's got Harvey Korman, Tim Conway, Lyle Wagner, and of course the incomparable Vicki Lawrence. But I got none of those people. I got none of her writers. I don't get Carol Burnett either. You just get me. But at least at the end of the show, you do get me doing the following, just like her show. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. And she would do her ear as a signal to her grandmother. So I guess I'm signaling her grandmother at this point. But she's got, as I mentioned before we raid, the great thing about her show is you could get away with stuff in the 70s on a TV show that you could not get away with today. Not even close. And pretty much every one of her shows is both an exercise in kind of finding the humor and also realizing why you couldn't do that joke today. It would offend somebody. Oh no. Anyway, or show somebody smoking on stage or something like that. You know what I mean? Something simple that they had no problem with back then for some reason. So we're gonna raid her again. See you tomorrow-ish. And thanks again for coming by. It was a good stream, pretty much, in my opinion, and that's the one that counts.